up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beat the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders, the investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Alright, so today I'll be jumping into my watch list for penny stocks for the week. So let's dive into it. So, hope everyone had a good week of trading. I know it's pretty interesting. A lot of moves were made last week. A lot of crazy moves were made last week. So, hope everybody locked in those profits. Hope you all made money. So, let's jump into my first one. We got ticker sign VXRT for VXRT. Jumped into the chart. I am using Webull, so just bear in mind that Webull is where I'm doing this analysis from. I'm using the 1 minute interval, and I'm using the moving average 10, 50, and 100 for analysis purposes. Also bear in mind, I'm a retail trader. This is all for educational purposes, so let's jump into it. Moving average 10 is 815, moving average 50 is 843, and the moving average 100 is 870. So towards the end of the week, they kind of went down. Towards a low pattern, but they had a pretty crazy breakout. This week, jumped up all the way to looks like 1060. I think it went even higher than that. Yeah, so it jumped up all the way from 621 to 1430. So that's why this chart it's just going crazy. It's kind of gone sideways after that, but going back to where it ended the day at, it ended on a positive note in my opinion, because it had an uptrend that had started to begin or started to show formation towards the end of the day. Going down, we do see that the moving average 10 is below both the moving average 50 and the moving average 100, and it did try to go and break through this moving average 50 and moving average 100. So it tried to get there, and we also do see the convergence of the moving average 50 and the moving average 10. So, I mean, the moving average 100. So those two have converged. And kind of broke off. The moving average 50 has gone below the moving average 100. But to me, the beginning of a breakout, in my opinion, is once the moving average 10 breaks through the moving average 50 and then starts to begin to go up. So that's the way I read charts. Just giving you some background information on that, and that's kind of the way I read all charts. I am using the Webull platform, so if you want to join Webull, I have a link down below. You can sign up, get a free stock, and then if you are trading on Robinhood, you can sign up down below as well, get a free stock with that as well. Now, my other videos, I do use Robinhood and Webull, but just on penny stocks, I use Webull because I like their charts a lot better. So on this channel, I also like to do some background information on the stock, so let's jump into that. So VXRT, this came out the 26th, so this was yesterday, this release, so pretty fresh news from the company. I'm just going to briefly read it. This is all press releases from their website, so if you're looking for it, just Google VXRT press releases, and you can find the same information. This came out 8 a.m. Yesterday, so it says VXRT Roni vaccine basically selected for the U.S. government's Operation Warp Speed. So to me, the Warp Speed program is just basically a program that they're trying to get all these vaccines and stuff made very fast at an efficient rate, so that they can help combat the situation. If you've been following the news, cases have been going up. As more people have been going out. I think Florida was one of the states where the cases have gone up quite significantly. So, there's a race to try to find, a vaccine or, something that can help combat that whole situation as people are starting to begin their summer and their summer plans. Places are starting to open back up, and a lot of places are starting to close back after they opened up. So, it's kind of, hit and miss on some of these, but, it's a countrywide thing as well as a worldwide thing. But just specifically talking about the U.S., a lot of places are starting to open back up. Vacation plans are going back people are trying to go out and get out after being shut in for a long time, and go vacation, go to the beach and stuff like that. Um, with all that being said, I'm going to read some more of the article. Vaxart Incorporated, clinically stage biotechnology company, developed oral vaccine that are administered by tablet rather than injection. Today announced that the oral Roni vaccine has been selected to participate in a non-human primate, so basically NHP. So whenever you see non-human primate or you see NHP, that's basically what that means. Challenge study organized, funded by Operation Warp Speed, a new national program aiming to provide substantial quantities of safe, effective vaccines by for Americans by January 2021. So bear in mind this date is this month is pretty important, January 2021. So basically, they're trying to get all this stuff done so they can combat a second wave of the whole Roni coming back to the U.S. and basically wreaking havoc. So during that time it's flu season, so don't want to have a flu season on top of the whole Roni situation, because that could just be a recipe for disaster. So if you're investing in a lot of pharmaceutical companies, just bear in mind that January 2021 is going to be a very important date for any company really that's involved in trying to help with testing, as well as trying to combat this whole Roni pandemic situation. Because their vaccine was chosen by the U.S. government, that's why I have them as my pick. Also, that the fact this news came out, yesterday. So I think that even though it jumped up and there was a spike, earlier this week to $14, I think it can be a repeat. Not saying lightning strikes twice, but basically, I try to judge my things based off news. Based off things that happen, recent things that happened. And I don't think that this news was priced in because it came out 8 a.m. If you look at the chart, it really wasn't priced in that much, in my opinion. I think it still has some more ways to move. So going into my number two, on my list, I got ticker sign AMPE, and that is for Ampio Pharmaceuticals. Moving average 10 is 62 cents, moving average 50 is 63 cents, moving average 100 is 63 cents as well. So if we look at their chart as well, we can see they kind of went down just a little bit. Also, bear in mind this is the 1 minute chart, so a little more dramatic than other charts. They had a little bit of breakout right here where they jumped up to 680. Then they kind of went down towards the end of the day, but it seemed to be towards the end of the day they had a little bit of uh, tried to run up towards the end of the day. So if we look right here, they did start a bearish trend, in my opinion, because they crossed the moving average 100, moving average 50, and they also crossed the moving average 100, which to me, once you cross either one of these moving average 50s or moving average 100s, whenever the moving average 10 crosses those, I think a bearish pattern has begun if it starts going down past that. Now, the opposite can be true. If it starts going up past those metrics as well, I think that it begins a bullish trend. So just bear that in mind. It works in both cases. So they ended the week at 62 cents. So, they're below, both their metrics. Uh, for the moving average 50 and moving average 100, but they are above their moving average 10, barely. If you look out here, 62 50. So 62, yeah, 62.50. And on here it's 62.13. So I mean, we're talking about the hundredth of a cent. So if you want to be that technical when analyzing it. But we could also see a lot of green right here. So basically, a lot of people bought it towards the end of the day. So I definitely see it going back up for next week. And let me give you some background information as to why I think that's going to happen. So just like the other stock for Vaxart, MPO is also in the whole Roni niche. And it says MPO starts first clinical trial of their whole Roni program. So says U.S. Food and Drug Administration, so basically FDA, completes its review of the company's investigative new drug, so IND application for uh, in, intravenous, so IV Ampion treatment for the Roni affected patients, and cleared the company to proceed with human trials. So they're beginning human trials of this Ampion. So that's their trademark drug, Ampion. So the company will begin phase one clinical trial to evaluate Ampion as a treatment for patients on supplemental oxygen. So basically, they're starting to begin human trials, which is really huge for a company, in my opinion. This came out June 19th, so pretty recent. Not as recent as the other news from another company, but still very recent news as far as this is concerned. And I think they have definitely, a lot of growth potential. Now, this company is at 63 cents, so, it is the true, quintessential penny stock. And, there are a lot of companies that, back when they first were really, really low, I wish that I would have jumped on uh, when they were this low, and now they're up, to crazy numbers. Like, I was fortunate enough to be one of the people who, got in and um, Novio back at $12 and locked in those profits on that one. It has a crazy run up last week. A lot of other companies. Um, have real crazy run ups. But to me, the part that helps you to identify if it has the potential to do so is to read background information. So that's why I like to give this background information on the company. So that's my number two, one on my watch list for next week. Definitely one to keep your eye on. Going into my third one or my next one, we have ticker sign ATOS for Atosa Therapeutics Incorporated. If we look, their moving average 10 is 399, moving average 50 is 397, moving average 100 is 396. And they ended the week at 398. So they are below their moving average 10, and they are above their moving average 50 and moving average um, 100. So, you know, kind of in between on here. They dip down below their moving average 10, and they're kind of like in this middle ground. Seems like there's kind of a lot of people sold off towards the end of the week. Uh, but, to me, I think, it can bounce back. We do have some convergences of these levels. We can see that they crossed their moving average. Their moving average 50 actually crossed the moving average 100, but their moving average 10 is still up pretty high. So to me, I still think that it's on a bullish run. So because their moving average 10 is, way above their moving average, or I guess not way above, considering it's the 1 minute, but it's still above their moving average 50 and their moving average 100, I still would consider this a bullish trend, in my opinion. So going into some background information on them, this is a press release from them. It came out June 11th. Yeah, June 11th. So it says Atosa Therapeutics announced the availability of manuscript on results from in vitro testing of its drug ATH201. So let's see what that is. So it says preliminary study uh, results show that ATH201 inhibits basically Roni affected vitro cells in lab culture, which is standard cell type being used in study infectivity of the Roni. So significant findings from the testing include ATH201 components inhibit Roni infecting vero cells in laboratory culture as measured by microscopy and Roni protein immuno standing. So basically, it means in like the little petri dish, they kind of analyzed their drug compared to cells in the culture. So this is all laboratory stuff. It's not basically used on people. So they're still in like the testing scientific phase for that, but it's just part of the process, in my opinion, that leads to either the non-human testing or the human testing. So they're kind of in the beginning stages, in my opinion, on their actual testing procedure, as it would be, but they're making good progress as that is concerned. So to me, I think they may be a little further behind other ones, other companies, but I think they definitely show a promise of making good potential. So that's why I have them as one of my uh, watch list. Definitely one to watch in the coming weeks because they are definitely in that niche market and seem to be making good progress as far as that's concerned. So going to my last one, I have ticker sign IBIO. So if we go on here, we can see that they're kind of on a bullish trend. I mean, a bearish trend, in my opinion, going down. Kind of gone down quite a bit. They will give you the different levels. Moving average 10 is 214. Moving average 50 is 218. Moving average 100 is 228, and they ended the week at 215. So they're above their moving average 10, but not by much. It looks like they had a little bit of run up towards the end of the week. At the end of the day, a lot of people look like they bought in. So they may be good starting on Monday. But let's go into some background information on them and see what is causing either their bearish trend to continue or what could turn this into a bullish trend for next week and the future. So on the 24th, it says IBM selected by IBM Watson Health for the use of IBM clinical development solutions at no cost to help support clinical Roni vaccine candidate. It says IBM granted 18 months free access to IBM's clinical trial management system. So IBM is a pretty big company. So the fact that they have access to or are partnering with this company, lets me know that they're on the right track. Big companies don't kind of like jump out and partner with other companies if they're not you know in the right field, or if they don't know what they're doing, which to me uh, was one of the reasons why Inovio was so popular, because so many big companies and people kind of rallied behind that one company. um, you know that actually speaks volumes, in my opinion, on what they're doing, because people are not just going to throw money away on something they don't believe is going to work. But it says IBM Watson Health recently began offering its ICD solution to eligible trial sponsor organizations as part of its efforts to help support the medical community and address the pandemic. IBM Watson Health has received interest in offering from numerous hospital sponsors, research organizations, academic institutions, and currently enabling 15 trials. So yeah, looks like they have a moving in the right direction with that. Jumping to another article from them. This came out on 26. That says IBIO added to Russell 2000 and Russell 3000 indexes. So when companies are added to indexes, to me it's a really big move forward and a move in the positive direction. Because to me, when something goes to an index, it can be traded a lot more often, or to me it kind of solidifies that a company is financially secure enough to be put on these indexes. A lot of these medical companies, to me, are a lot riskier. Some are riskier than other ones, and that's because they're not listed. They just get funding or get money to do their different experiments or different trials, but it's kind of a hit or miss. But the fact that they got listed, to me, is a good move forward for the company, and I think can help solidify them to be a financially secure company, more than just a company moving forward with the actual medical work that they do. So that's why I have them as my pick on here. So That's going to be my top ones. It's going to be VXRT, AMPE, ATOS, and IBIO. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think of this list. Tell me, you know, if you guys made profits or not last week, or if you were able to jump on some of those from the other week. Let me know if these videos are actually helping you. I know some people were actually able to lock in profits from last week's video, so that's always the goal, just to help people out with that. And hope these videos are helping you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up too if you like the video. Hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.